Can you imagine that in the world's most dangerous desert, where there's no ocean for 1,000 miles in any direction, something is hidden that has completely shocked American intelligence agencies? In November 2021, during a routine satellite scan, something appeared on computer screens that nobody believed at first. But today, it has become a major headache for the world. This story begins with the Taklamakan Desert, known as the Sea of Death. This desert is so dangerous that temperatures reach 50 degrees Celsius during the day and drop to minus 20 degrees at night. No human can survive here. No animal can make it through. But then, what was happening here that billions of dollars were being spent on? When Maxar Technologies satellite operators were processing routine images, something suddenly shocked everyone. In this dead desert, spanning 337,000 square kilometers, where nothing was alive, massive signs of human activity appeared. But this wasn't normal construction activity. When intelligence analysts zoomed into the images, their eyes remained wide open in disbelief. In the middle of the desert, where there were no roads or cities, something was built that was scientifically impossible to exist in such a place. But what was it? Analysis teams worked day and night. Every possible technology was used, from high-resolution cameras to thermal imaging. What was discovered forced emergency meetings at the Pentagon. USNI, U.S. Naval Institute experts, were immediately involved. But why? Why were naval experts called for a desert discovery? This is where the story becomes even more mysterious. When more detailed satellite passes were conducted in 2022, an entire network of patterns became visible. This wasn't random construction. It was carefully planned, precisely positioned, and strategically located. But the question remained, what is this, and why is it here? The Chinese government initially maintained complete silence. When international media asked questions, only peaceful development was mentioned. But what was the need for peaceful development in the most remote area of the desert? And if it was peaceful, why was it being kept classified? Signs of underground construction were also found. Massive excavation, underground tunnels, and sophisticated ventilation systems were clearly evident in satellite imagery. This wasn't just surface work. This was deep, complex, multi-level construction. But why such massive underground construction in such a hostile environment? A railway track network was also built. But these weren't for normal cargo transportation. These tracks were serving some other purpose: heavy machinery marks, precision engineering signs, and most importantly, movement patterns that didn't match any civilian project. In 2023, when more detailed satellite coverage began, another shocking discovery was made. This wasn't just one site. Similar activities were happening at multiple locations along the eastern edge of the Taklamakan Desert. This was an entire network, which analysts later named the Great Wall. But what was this a Great Wall of? Electronic signatures were also detected. Powerful radar systems, communication arrays, and energy signatures that were far more sophisticated than typical civilian infrastructure. These were military-grade equipment signatures. But what military operation was running in the desert? Climate data was analyzed. To work in such extreme conditions, a climate-controlled environment had to be created. Energy consumption patterns revealed that massive cooling and heating systems were operating here. This was designed for permanent, year-round operation. A security perimeter was also established. Access roads were strictly controlled. Checkpoints were built, and no-fly zones were enforced. All these measures are only taken for highly classified operations. According to intelligence reports, specific units of the People's Liberation Army were deployed here. But these weren't regular army units. These were specialized forces trained for specific types of training and operations. But what type of training? Looking at the regional context, this area is strategically very important. Distances to the South China Sea, Taiwan Strait, and Guam were calculated from here. These locations were coincidentally the same places where US-China tensions are maximum. Was this geographical positioning accidental? Technology signatures revealed that hypersonic testing was taking place here. Evidence of Mach 5+ speeds was found, which was a clear indication of hypersonic weapons testing. But for what purpose were these hypersonic weapons being developed? Artificial intelligence and machine learning signatures were also detected. Autonomous systems were being used, which meant human intervention was being minimized. This was future warfare technology. Communication intercepts revealed that this operation was given the codename Project Desert Phoenix. The Phoenix symbol represents rebirth and resurrection. Was China developing something that would completely change the strategic balance? Intensive utilization of the BeiDou satellite network was taking place. This is China's GPS alternative, which is critical for military operations. Centimeter-level accuracy was being achieved for precision targeting. But what was being targeted? Cyber warfare signatures were also found. Advanced hacking tools, network penetration systems, and electronic warfare equipment were being used. This was an integrated approach to modern warfare, where physical and cyber attacks happen simultaneously. Space-based assets coordination was also observed. Unusual positioning and frequent repositioning of Chinese military satellites was happening over this area. This was being used for real-time monitoring and guidance. Economic analysis revealed that an estimated $50 to $100 billion had been invested in this project. This is a significant portion of China's defense budget. Such massive investment isn't made just for research projects. International law experts analyzed that these activities were technically happening on China's sovereign territory, so they weren't legally problematic. But strategically, they could fundamentally shift the regional power balance. Now we come to the real revelation. After analyzing all the evidence, the truth that emerged was so shocking that geopolitical experts had to completely revise their previous assumptions. What China has built in the Taklamakan Desert are complete full-scale replicas of the entire American naval fleet. USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier, Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, and Ticonderoga-class cruisers. Exact copies with precise dimensions, standing on the sand. But these aren't just static models. These are movable targets that move to different positions on a railway system to simulate real naval formations. They were built for testing China's carrier killer missiles, the DF-21D and DF-26. This means China is systematically training to neutralize American naval forces. This isn't just defensive capability, but clear offensive preparation designed to prevent American intervention in the event of a Taiwan conflict. This Project Desert Phoenix is actually Project Kill the Eagle, China's master plan to challenge American naval supremacy. So this was the reality of this secret mystery of the Taklamakan Desert that will shake the world's strategic balance. If this revelation seemed shocking to you, then like this video and subscribe to Time Titans Network for more such geopolitical mysteries. Tell us in the comments whether you think this development is preparation for World War III or just a deterrent strategy.